night. Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahusha, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahusha, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahusha, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahusha. Give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahusha, Bashem, Kakadash. The most of the apostles, great millstone, citation, all you Akims and Aquas, pushing the truth out there. Is Yahweh Kanah coming in, Yahweh Kanah coming in. And as you can see, Jacob's trouble is at root, which is Jeremiah 30:7. You also have the Carmanian raging in wrath, which is Iran. And you see, they said no surrender. They attacking all American. How do you say it? Oh, they just attacking all American oil bases, refineries, and any infrastructure in that AEM or the Arabian something embassy, AEU or something. But they basically attacking all those bases over there that's coexisting, like Kuwait, Dubai, and them different areas. All upon that Gulf over there, they attacking any players with Babylon the Great, aka America, which they also call the Great Satan. So you see these things taking place. So you ask yourself, well, what are we supposed to be doing in those times, in these times? You know, because we've been prophesying on what we're supposed to be doing. So let's go back to the basics. This Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the words at my mouth and give them warning for me. See that? Give them warning of what? That is the salvation of Israel. And Esau, Edom, and these other nations, the other 17 nations, they finna be judged according to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's why you see all these wars taking place. And see, as these wars taking place, what message do we supposed to be giving the people? Let's see. This Revelation 19:10. This Revelation 19:9. And he said unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lord. What do it mean by you call? Because we say we are the hopeful elect. Because it said many are called, but few are chosen. Because a lot of people don't even get a chance to hear this, understand it, or anything. And the scriptures speak about that. That the wise man and the other men, they wish they had a chance to hear the things that we hear and to understand them. Because even some of the prophets didn't understand what they was actually writing, because they was going to come back reincarnated. And it's for these times for them to be fulfilled and understood. So you blessed if you call to this. So there's Revelation 19:9. And he said unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lord. And he said unto me, these are a true saying of God. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, meaning the angel, and of thy brethren to have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship God, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. See that? Because you're supposed to be prophesying. So let's get another one. I got two of them right there. I'm going to do the Colossians 2:8. This Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiment of the world, and not after Yahushua. And you see that happening. You see the rudiment of this world and the tradition of this world, of what? Christianity, Islam, Democrats and Republicans. You're part of the two-party system. Atheists. See, so that's why you got to make sure you're not caught up with these distractions out here. What distractions I'm talking about? I'm gonna give you a little example of the distractions. So if you're looking at my computer, you got fitness two-time all-star. They called him Lackey. So they got it on the computer. You can play these guys who rappers and entertainers who fashion themselves as gangster, and they set these scenes up. Or you can get caught up in this basketball stuff, or just politics. You get caught up with OCDA playing practical jokes on people, or just overall gladiator sports. You have Blueface versus Chibi, and you got these YouTubers commentating, and it's all about the gladiator sports. You got Kaylin Clark with the whole debut of USA Basketball. You got the video games to distract you. You got the AI dolls and elite women rowing. Meanwhile, you got the truth right amongst these things. NBA player versus 30 players. Meanwhile, Sabak right here, how Bam dropped 83 points this game. 5 top heaviest women. Sports. And you notice the truth be right amongst this. When you scrolling through this, see all the sports. Meanwhile, Yahushua throw an Akim video right in the middle of it. They got animated wallpaper now. See that? It goes speed, doing 50 pull-ups, just on and on. Man's 100. See that? It just go on and on and on. Folly. See that? Keyshawn Davis sparring. Aaron, the plumber, gets too real. So they're using this dude, Keyshawn, to hype up all these people to bring them in. Because, you know, he's about to commit suicide. They bring him back in through the software. But as you can see, it's an ongoing, best bug out kit that they selling in IUIC. Russians invades and shoot down civilian plane. So realistic gameplay. So there you go. Devin Books, DUI body cam footage 7 days ago. So there go your entertainers, your basketball players are being treated, playing strangers in the trench to drink the world hottest sauce. You see the YouTubers. So the list go on and on of the folly that's here in Babylon the Great to distract you, because that's what time it is, to distract you out of what you're supposed to be doing, because the word of Yahushua is prophecy. So let's get that, because what's happening? This second Exodus 16 and 18. Because see, this is what you're supposed to be paying attention to. Yeah, so second Exodus. You already know about the Carmanians. They working their magic. But this second Exodus 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrow and great mourning. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evil, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourge for amendments. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So the average Black, Latin, Native American out there, and just the people, they not taking heed to what's going on. While children are being killed, mosques are being ran up into. They don't know nothing about the agent provocatory. They don't know nothing about the sellouts, the Judas goats, the prophecies coming to pass. Iran, the Kermanians, Russia, the big bear. They don't understand nothing. They just walk on in gross darkness. It said, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So it just said it. It say, behold, virtue shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And you see that. You see all over deals, 60% off, 70% off, buy them in bulks. Um, Supply and demand is flowing around, so people just moving on like everything is normal. It said, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. There shall no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. A lot of these men, y'all going into these wars, and that's why you see they celebrating people from other countries that's being killed, young men, like in Kuwait. They got on Cartoon Network a young man who was his whole life dedicated his life to the patriotism of his country. A lot of y'all finna pass. A lot of you young boys over here in America and shit. And that's why Trump from 18 to 25 enlisted that draft that's out there. And y'all don't know nothing about that. It said, there shall no man be left to till the earth and to sow it. The tree shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of man. So that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice. And you see that. People are being cut off from their cities, from their families. What's going on in Hezbollah, Iran, Iraq, and the surrounding counties, they being all cut off. It say, for of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 in the field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the cliffs of the rocks, as in the arches of olive. Upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives, or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some cluster of them, and diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so in these days there shall be those of 4 left by them, that searches their houses with the sword. So it's going to be lack of everything out here. It say, and the earth shall be laid waste, and its field thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all the paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husband. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall there be their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things, and understand them, you servants of the Lord. See that? So those of us who have this truth, we have to understand and know that these things are going to take place. And that's why this week I happened to be talking to Issachar Wright that I talked to 12 months ago about this whole same incident. And she told me her daughter was trying to sign up for the Navy, and I told her to have her daughter know, because wars are coming. And she told me that her daughter basically ended up not going. I talked to another Issachar Wright at the hospital, and she said, that's ironic you said that, because Spirit had me bring up that incident to the nurse at the hospital. And she actually told me, she was like, well, thank you for the spiritual information. I always love and appreciate to talk about the Bible, because them things are not happening now. And yeah, I had a daughter too that actually wanted to go off to the Navy, and she changed her mind at the last minute. And I was encouraging Issachar Wright to understand that what time it is, and for not to have our kids involved in these wars openly, and to keep them at home. And we all must cultivate, and like the scripture said, gather yourself up together, gather yourself nation not desire, and we not desire. So, just throwing little jewels out there for the people. and warning the people, because the scripture said, if you a watchman, then give them warning for me. Give them warning of what? What we talking about. And we got to go on the highways and byways and make it plain to the people too. And we got to be seen out there. Because that's why I said you're going to have a what? Great cloud of witnesses. So you got to get out there and make this plain so the people will know what we talking about. So let's keep going. Because who's supposed to hear this? You servants of the Lord. Now hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. So not only do you got to hear them, but you got to understand. So I ain't going to be sitting here trying to sell out no damn bug out package or tell you let's get a community when we know everybody going to be on the move and on the run. Behold the word of the Lord, receive it. The second Exodus 16 and 36. Behold the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As with a woman with child in the 9th month, bringing forth her son within 2 or 3 hours of her birth. Great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. And you're seeing that now. You see these wars and the continuous wars, and that's why you have the newscasters as they interviewing people. They saying, "Yeah, we just went through this. Like we just went through this, like just 18 months ago." It said, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make ye ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." So if you gotta move, you gotta move. You can't act like that house is holy land. God bless me with this house, so I'm gonna die with this house. No, that's the Christianity way of bullshit. Like this, the kingdom of heaven on earth. That's why you had in California, that black historical neighborhood. That's why you literally had some black women see hell on earth happening. That's why the scripture said, "What if fire already set?" And decided that Jesus was gonna help them because that's that. How do you say it? Uh, damn, prosperity doctrine. See, that's that prosperity doctrine that you have in your kingdom of heaven on earth. That's what Esau taught through his wicked devices called what? The church. See that? The church and the pastor. And you had a lady who her brother came to get her and she said, "Nope." The Lord got her and she literally died in the house, burnt to death. And that's a horrible way to die. But that's what Jesus gets you. So we understand these things. So we ain't going for that. So let's keep going. Gotta be mindful. So let's get that Joel. This Joel 3 and 10. Joel 3 and 10. I'm gonna start at 9. Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And you're seeing that happen with Iran, the Houthis, and the surrounding communities to attack America, the great Satan, and Israel. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathens, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause the mighty ones to come down, the angels, O Lord. Let the heathens be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I set to judge all the heathens round about. So you actually seeing that. So Yahushua is gathering all these heathen up in this last war to what? Pour out his indignation, which is righteous anger upon them. So as that's happening, what the fuck do we supposed to be doing? Let's get it. This 1 Corinthians 7:35. Because remember, you got all these different, and I noticed that these gladiator sports is becoming more and more stronger. They gearing all of the influencers to segue themselves, and they doing it right now into these sports. That's why they becoming boxers, they becoming MMA fighters, they becoming, because they segueing you into the bread and circuses. And what's the number one thing? The gladiator sports. So you got to be mindful of that. Especially you Akims out there, be mindful on what you spend the majority of your, examine yourself. What you spending your time doing. Is you entertaining these heathen and being unevenly yoked with these unbelievers? Or are you doing the work of Yahweh Shah? So you got to take heed and examine yourself. And remember, there is no respect of person. This 1 Corinthians 7:35. This, yep. Yeah, I'm going to start at 1 Corinthians. I want to go. Okay, I'm going to start up. This 1 Corinthians 7:32. But I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married care for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. And that's why the scripture said, remember Lot's wife. So you got to be mindful of this marriage life with the wife. You got to find that balance, that Yahweh shall come first and you attend unto her, but everything don't go through her first. There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman care for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cause a snare upon you. So Paul letting you know that, look, I ain't trying to get involved in your relationship, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. So, hey, you got to do what you got to do. But if any man think that he behave himself uncomely towards a virgin, if she pass the flower of age, and he so required, let him do that he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. So there you go. So the point is, don't let no distraction come involved in this. Let's get this Philippians 3:14. Last one. So be mindful out here. Philippians 3:14. Philippians 3:14. It's okay. I started 13. Philippians 3 and start 13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. See that? So stop looking back at my past life and what I used to be and what I used to do and my relationship with my family members and my cousin and how they used to be so good, but now we getting older. No, that's getting soft and weak. I ain't looking back towards none of that shit. I'm a new man. You died in Yahweh Shah and you come forward as a new man. The only thing you should be concerned about is the kingdom of heaven. Because all those things that we left, he said he gonna add that upon to us a hundredfold. We know them scriptures already. And then you want to be the first fruit to make it for your family. So that's what you're doing all this for. So all that old weak nature shit, oh man, I always wanted to do this in my life. Oh, here you come with these ambitions and these Babylonian dreams and shit. No, keep your mind single and your eyes single. But this Philippians 3 and 13, brother, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before the kingdom of heaven. I press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling of God in Yahushua Mashiach. Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thou mindful, and if anything ye be otherwise minded, God shall reveal even thus unto you. Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same things. It say, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so as ye have, and mark them which walk so as ye have us for an example. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, they are the enemies of Yahushua. The enemies of the cross of Yahushua, whose end is destruction, whom God is their belly, and whom glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. See that? And you see that with Assad. You see that with Captain Tazariak. You see that with Nate Satan. You see that with Ricard of GOCC. The brother just came out and showed that this man's a millionaire. He a part of this singing group, and that's why I see why he had that ambition. And it was all about him and worship of him who mind earthly things. See that? That's why Nate, $150 million man. And that's why Genesis sitting in a $150,000 Jeep bobbing his head, showing y'all on these different platforms. But then come right on YouTube and portray this holy, righteous. But you notice his co-partner know better to do stuff like that. He feel more of a shame. So, hey, you gotta watch these guys. Pay attention to prophecy and what's going on out there. I'm gonna keep putting these epistles up to warn the people. And with that, shalom.